life, but he managed to take his mind back to a dark, dark place he never thought he'd visit again to survive a weapon-filled war chamber.
Hey, Crist is all hard, but also a dangerous, agile man in the ring. He comes in with a garbage can, and I know, Jake, he's willing to go anywhere he has to get a win in this war chamber match.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the first entrant for the calling is... Ladies and gentlemen, making his way into the war chamber, Death Machine, Sammy Callhan!
The most vile, vulgar, and dangerous member, arguably, of the calling. There's one word I think of when I see Sammy. That's liability, in more ways than one. Liability to others, to himself, to any company that he finds himself in. That's why he's been fired everywhere he's been. But Sammy Callhan wants to do damage to a man, Christian, he once looked at as closer than a brother.
When I look at the sport as a whole, and I try to think of the guy who I would say is the most violent in our sport, Sammy Callhan comes to mind first. As he comes into the ring with that barbed wire thread baseball bat, and he's going right after Jay Crist.
He went for his head, and Crist fires back. Sammy Callhan has no conscience. He has no moral compass. He just reacts and does things like that. Disgusting and vile, filthy things. And Jay Crist giving Sammy his best shot.
Some call Sammy a degenerate, and showing you right there, he spits right on Crist. You can see the spit on his shoulder still.
And that's a man that, Callhan would have once upon a time fought alongside in any surrounding. They used to say Ohio versus everything. They used to say Ohio is for killers, but now,
God.
Jay Crist into the steel, the door popped open with the force, and keep in mind, Christian, it's submission, surrender, or pinfall, and the match does not officially start till all 8 are in. Jake is not eliminated, this match is not over.
The War Chamber cage is supposed to contain the fighters in this match, and it's already failing to do so. This violence spilling out to the outside.
Jay Crist has been lacerated on the steel of that chamber door. Sammy's spitting everywhere he goes. And when you got a structure like the War Chamber, there's little steel barbs and jagged edges and pieces that can become embedded into your back, your body, your head.
Not to mention the top is draped with barbed wire. There's weapons strewn around the ring.
I think Jake Crist caught one of those jagged edges on the way through the door. And
he's not going to use the cage. Oh my God.
For the second time, I think Sammy was hoping to find the same aim he did the first time and open that cut wider.
Jay Crist losing a lot of blood, just mere feet from our broadcast position. It's Sammy gonna drive that right hand into the bloody head of Crist. We talked about how good Crist has been doing, how far he's come in his life in recent months. Sammy looking to take it all away.
Imagine wearing the blood of your family on your hand like it's a trophy. Oh, I know they're not blood related, but they've traveled so many thousands of miles for so many years. Sometimes you choose your family. Crist and Sammy chose each other, but now they want nothing to do with each other.
I can think we're only a couple minutes away from the next participant entering this match.
We passed that halfway point of the first stage, which is the only stage, 5 minutes in length. Jake Crist hit hip first into those solid, heavy steel stairs. And now that the damage is done, Sammy looking to entrap Jake Crist. And perhaps it goes from bad to worse.
Sammy, certainly the sociopathy in his eyes. He has no empathy for his opponents. He seems to just run on violence like a car runs on gasoline.
Imagine the sinister ideas that go through Sammy Callhan's mind in an environment like this.
I don't want to go to a dark place like that. Is that a fork?
Oh, it is. Sammy Callhan maybe thinking, oh, Abdul the Butcher.
Sammy's going straight for Crist with that fork, who's already bleeding profusely, and Sammy jabbing that fork right in the forehead.
Driving it violently. And raking it across the forehead.
Not in the neck.
Oh.
Right by the carotid artery.
Callhan is trying to open up Jake Crist anywhere and everywhere he can.
He spit in the air and caught it in his mouth. That's talented, quite frankly.
This man is reprehensible. He is talented in his ways of human torture and pain threshold.
Look at that. He's going to attack the leg of Jake Crist with a chair. It's smart because Crist moves so fast around the ring. If you could take out a base.
My God, they hit his ankle. They hit his ankle, chair on chair. And you're right, Christian. The way Jake Crist moves, the way he flies, that's his advantage. And Sammy may have just eliminated it.
Sammy in his element, with a former best friend of his, could have a broken ankle, and now he's just got barbed wire.
I'm not sure if Sammy's lucking into these weapons or if he planted them there earlier, but by any degree, Sammy does not need to be asked twice to use his surroundings to sinister meet. Jake Crist slammed onto that barbed wire. Oh, that is sadistic. And we know that Jake Crist and company won the coin toss, so Crist has some help.
Now, your next entrant in the War Chamber.
Wait a minute!
Hey! Ricky Shane Page, Cannonball, Dr. Cornwallis, not supposed to be out here. This is not their time. Akira is the entrant. And just like they started back at the Premium Live Event War Chamber, the calling, assaulting Akira before he has a hope of getting to his implement of revenge.
The calling being sent back, but has the damage been done to Akira?
Oh, Akira's hurt. They had weapons. There were 3 of them that had to be 1,000 pounds combined, assaulting the Death Fighter. And just like that, the advantage that Akira and Crist had won is eliminated.
Is that a signed picture from one of our wrestlers?
Well, yeah, to Sammy with
We've
love.
seen this before, Joe. We've seen Sammy attack
Nothing but
violently.
hatred and venom. I saw Jake Crist is just a bloody mess.
And if he's going to do what I think he's going to do with that paper, might want to send the kids to look away for a second.
Or maybe about 20 minutes or so, because it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Oh, no.
No. That sensitive spot between the fingers. That makes you cringe. And Sammy, almost a euphoric pleasure on his face.
Sammy's having a laugh while Jake Crist is in bad shape.
And now,
God, his mouth.
And the next entrant reps the calling.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next entrant for the calling, Ricky
Shane Page, open weight champion. Sends Akira in. Keep in mind, Akira was the insubordinate, the one that didn't sign up to side with Ricky Shane Page, who he called a false prophet, a narcissist, someone leading in bad faith.
And look at this, Shane Page able to enter the ring before Akira does.
With Sammy holding the rope.
This isn't the rules of this match. It's not going to the rules.
Well, the calling's never given a damn about rules. Make a rule, they'll try to break it. Ricky Shane Page is always against the grain. And now, gonna punish Jake Crist for daring oppose him. Punish Akira for daring defy him.
Oh my God, look at that.
Akira's a mess. And Callhan marking that door in Jake Crist's blood.
Sadistic is Callhan, just as sadistic as this War Chamber structure.
Oh, and Crist, keep in mind the calling are fighting. Oh no,
How is he fighting back like this? I mean, he's lost a lot of blood during this fight.
The only men that have stood up to them. Oh, wait! A malfunction there as RSP hits Sammy by accident. And what Crist counters? Jay Crist, the stunner. Here's Akira. And Page through the door.
As Tampa Bay gets to their feet in support of Akira, we thought he might be out. He's bleeding profusely, but he was able to get back in.
Akira with that rebelliousness. And we're seconds away from our 5th entrant.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next entrant into the War Chamber, Jimmy Lloyd.
And here's maybe the only man that voluntarily stepped up to fight the calling, time and time again. Whether it was Ricky Shane Page, or whether it was that 25,000 thumbtack hits of death with Cannonball, Jimmy Lloyd will fight the world.
Jimmy Lloyd fighting anybody he sees in the ring, coming in like a house of fire. He's going straight for a table. I tell you what, Jimmy Lloyd loves his violence.
Jimmy Lloyd's a different boy. He's not like everybody else. Jimmy Lloyd's right at home inside the War Chamber. And this was a pivotal need for the response, for the Death Fighters, to get back in the game here after Page and Callhan had manipulated so much of these rules.
You hear the support of Tampa Bay for Jimmy Lloyd, but he gets thrown into that structure.
Couldn't save.
War Chamber shaking back and forth.
Other support might as well be a mile away. It can't save Lloyd. Page missed Akira, and Akira, look at this, Akira is evading everybody. Akira bucking the system, just as he did in the calling.
Akira, a bloody mess, but elusive, and now able to answer with a steel chair, taking out both RSP and Sammy.
Screw you, I won't do what you tell me. That's what led to the end of Akira and the calling, and it's what's leading to Akira rebounding now. Keep in mind, Akira had his dignity, his masculinity taken when he was tied to the rope and had his head shaved in front of the world. Akira's not forgotten about that. But now, the 2-minute period is expired.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 3rd entrant for the calling, Cannonball.
400 pounds and not coming empty-handed.
We saw Cannonball earlier in this fight. Again, the match hasn't officially started yet, but earlier in the fight we saw Cannonball come out, and now he's back. You can almost see a sadistic smile under that mask. He knows he did damage, he's coming to do more.
Look who was the first to meet him. It was Akira! That Tiger driver, Lloyd got planted on his head. All that weight of Lloyd works against him. Man, Akira is ready to...
Look how bloody Akira is, partner. He's gushing blood.
I mean, the heart's willing to, is the body willing to stand on his own and fight his oppressors?
Sammy offering Cannonball that barbed wire. He's just wrapping it around.
Yeah, not handing it to him. He's offering to turn Cannonball into a weapon, as if he wasn't enough of one to begin with.
It's a weapon of mass destruction in the War Chamber.
Imagine just those barbs going into the body of Cannonball, and he doesn't even feel it.
Cannonball's going up. I don't know if that turnbuckle can hold his weight.
Oh my God, he is 400 pounds. Senton! And Akira disappears upon impact.
I can't believe my eyes. Cannonball going straight through Akira and straight through the table. Tampa giving him love.
And that's what the sick control of Ricky Shane Page can drive a lost man to do. And now,
Ladies and gentlemen, the next entrant into the War Chamber, he
the man that picked up Akira when he was lost, vision.
He goes straight after Shane Page, does Raven. You can hear the thud of that trash can as we're trying to keep up with the action. 2 rings in this war chamber, both being used.
You hear this crowd. It's so tough to even decide where to look. There's action and carnage and bloodletting everywhere. I notice Raven is using the bottom of that trash can, the most reinforced part.
RSP might be out.
And now, the final member of the Calling.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final entrant into the war chamber, Dr. Cornwallis.
And we saw the Calling pull this ace out of their sleeve a year ago at War Chamber. Dr. Cornwallis.
Ladies and gentlemen, now the final battleground begins.
Cornwallis 350 plus, left people injured and mangled last time he was in War Chamber, which by the way, the Calling was victorious in. Oh, look at a heel kick.
Cornwallis, that vile doctor of violence.
And he's got a prescription for pain for Akira and anyone else that didn't toe the Calling line, but Raven from behind. And there's nobody, Christian, who can use a weapon more expertly than the man from the Bowery, Raven.
Raven delivering that shot to the head of Dr. Cornwallis as now we focus in on Sammy.
Keep in mind, Christian, all 8 men have entered. The match is officially underway. It's submission, surrender, or pinfall to end this.
Sammy and Jimmy Lloyd. Jimmy Lloyd, a bloody mess. Sammy! Exploder! Right on that chair. And he had a bad landing. In for the cover, but the referee's far. Referee has to get towards the position of ring number 2. But so much action for him to keep up with. He can barely see the pinfall attempt in ring 2. He's in ring 1 right now.
Well, there's about 700 pounds of humanity blocking his way, but right now, bottom line, Sammy and Ricochet Page want to inflict even more damage. Look out!
Cage just busted open, Joe.
Akira nearly through the door. That chain went flying. And Akira looking to battle back. Akira's lost a ton of blood. That's a cinder block! That's a cinder block! Akira! Oh, the cinder block! Into the trash can! And Cornwallis may never be the same. And Cannonball with that bag. It looks heavy, whatever the hell's in it.
Hey, what's in there?
Oh! I don't think Raven wants to find out any more than the rest of us do. And Cannonball. Oh, Sammy's got Raven. Sammy's trying to dig the eyes out of the sockets of Raven, and Cannonball is pouring thumbtacks all over the Death Fighter.
Just shoving and smearing those thumbtacks into the forehead of Akira, who's already lost a lot of blood during this match.
No, not in the mouth.
Oh, God.
That's cruel and unusual punishment. And this is what the no. Thumbtacks flying. You gotta believe Akira could have swallowed some of those as well.
That right hand landing with a mouthful of thumbtacks, and Akira ate it.
That's what the Calling thinks Akira deserves for being his own man, thinking for himself, and not drinking the Ricochet Page. Jimmy Lloyd, a cutter!
Jimmy Lloyd elected to go for that cutter right on about 1,000 thumbtacks.
At least both bodies landed on the metal thumbtacks. I think Cannonball tried to get his hand in the way, and it only made it worse. And stomping the hand, making the tacks deeper embedded, is Akira.
You could see Cannonball turning over and those thumbtacks all stuck in his back, now in his elbow, on his hands.
And now, the Death Fighters,
wait a minute,
conglomerating the troops into
what's Jake
ring
Crist
number
doing?
1. Jake Crist is 15 feet high! Cross body, stack him up!
Jake Crist, Jimmy Lloyd, Akira, there is so much blood around the ring. these fans get behind Jimmy Lloyd. What a violent encounter we're witnessing here.
And you gotta believe so much of it comes from the sinister mind of Raven. But you don't have to ask anybody in this matchup twice. It's what Akira has dreamed of for 4 or 5 months. It's what Raven has sat back and calculatedly prepared. We got so many people hurt out here.
There's just so much blood and violence taking place in this ring. We promised Florida you'd see blood and guts. I mean, this War Chamber match has delivered.
What the hell? Jimmy Lloyd suplexed through a door wrapped in barbed wire.
And this sidebar between RSP and Sammy, getting their strategy in order, trying to find a way. The match is official now, trying to find a way to put it away, get the victory for their team.
Or are they trying to isolate Akira, who was the catalyst to so much of this? And Sammy just broke through the chain that was keeping that door shut. And I don't want to know what
that's bad news for all of us ringside. If this cage couldn't contain Sammy.
Sammy directed traffic, and notice the focus has strictly gone to Akira, who just had his forehead drilled into those tacks.
He's handing that door to Cornwallis.
The calling blames Akira for all of their pitfalls, for all of their shortcomings. Akira didn't follow his calling. Akira didn't trust in Ricky Shane Page. He trusted in Raven. And for being an independent thinker and being his own man, the calling looked to excommunicate Akira from pro wrestling as a whole.
Ricky Shane Page lifting that table, setting it up, and Sammy just throwing more. Now it's a door in the ring.
What the hell are they doing? 2 chairs on top of a table. And there's no one that's gonna stop them. All the Death Fighters are hurt. The door,
what is the structure that they're building?
They're putting a second layer. Oh my God, what sinister.
The minds of these men is bewildering to anybody.
Cornwallis is fighting Raven.
Violently.
He just bit the man's flesh, to Cornwallis.
Dr. Cornwallis doing a checkup on Raven.
And as Raven is neutralized, they've got Akira. Ricky Shane Page with Sammy Callhan.
See the tack sticking out the back.
Putting it in to the Akira problem, but the double knee counters missed. Oh, Akira said the calling played all of their cards, but Akira had 1 card left to play, and maybe that was it, or maybe it's still to come. Ricky Shane Page stacks up the implements of destruction and looks to end Akira. Akira out of the way.
That would have crushed Akira, but he was elusive, able to move out of the way. Akira DDT in the center of the ring.
Ricky Shane Page, you just felt the Raven effect from the one man that never stopped trusting in Raven, and the kendo stick into the mouth, torturing the human slaughterhouse.
Will RSP tap out? Did Akira do enough to earn a submission?
Oh, barbed wire. Akira just leveled up. Barbed wire in the mouth, piercing the skin of Page.
That's it.
He has no choice in the town. Akira has exorcised demons. He has liberated his mind, body, and soul from what the calling had attempted to do to systematically destroy him. And with 3 somewhat unlikely allies, Akira found his band of brothers and stands tall, a victor in war. Our Bet Online replay shows you how Akira's Death Fighters weathered the storm
I believe in simple things. I believe in blood. I believe in guts. I believe in pro wrestling. And I believe in Major League Wrestling. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of all of our hearts in this ring for coming here and watching us. And just as I believe in pro wrestling, I believe in every single one of you fans that's watching. The fans at home and the fans all around the world. And we ain't stopping. Major League Wrestling is on a rise, we're on a grind, and we thank you all for believing in us every step of the way. 2 things left. Believe in Major League Wrestling and follow the Akira way.
Akira never compromised his ideals. He never conformed to what he didn't believe in.
MLW!
He once was lost and now is found. Akira stands tall his own way.
And perhaps Akira never reaches these heights. Perhaps Akira never feels this level of fulfillment if not for the guidance and the teaching of the legendary Raven.
After Akira spoke, there's nothing left to say except one thing. Quote the Raven! Quote the Raven! Quote the Raven! Starve today and starve tomorrow. He's the future of this business.
Well, a Raven came not so gently rapping at the War Chamber door. And what we saw from really all 8 of these men is a level of violence, a level of hatred, a level of brutality that quite possibly surpassed our expectations. As one movement falls and a new star is anointed, we will never forget this night. We will never forget War Chamber.